Good afternoon, and welcome to the show, part of our 50th anniversary Jubilee celebration. Since I'm not wearing a face mask for this online event, you may not recognize me, so I'll introduce myself. I'm Steve Kantrowitz, and I have the privilege of serving as president of our synagogue and a part of the lay leadership of our community. First, on behalf of everyone, I want to thank our executive producer, showrunner, head writer, director, editor, you name it, Gene Kentish. All of Gene's creative energy and hard work has paid off. And Gene has screen credits that you will see for those who have worked so hard and so well on all of this afternoon's segment. Thanks, team. Before we get to the entertainment, let me mention that our great 50th anniversary team, led by Jan Biros and Susie Schultz, has developed a terrific schedule of events, averaging more than one a month through the end of 2022. We have musical-related presentations, including a soprano soloist and one-time TBA or debut, a composer, mandolinist, and cantorial soloist, and a jazz ensemble. And there are many other wonderful happenings, from a beer tasting / brewery tour to Jewish learning and school events, a nature center walk for hunger, and the capstone event, a catered dinner with choir and orchestra. You're probably waiting for me to ask what you can do for your TBA. So I don't want to disappoint. Support TBA. Because not only do we, a la PBS, bring you premium programming, as you will see this afternoon, but we are also your family's community, your family's vehicle to learn about and practice Judaism, your family's means to help repair the world, your family's special place to celebrate, and your family's place to find support, be it a caring person to share with, meals, whatever, whenever, wherever something is needed. So as we celebrate our 50th Jubilee, here are some things you can do. Encourage area friends, family, and neighbors to explore becoming part of our community. Volunteer, use your skills and time to make your community better. Just tell us how you would like to help. And donate to TBA so we can be a strong community now and for generations to come for Jewish and interfaith families. This Jubilee is an opportunity for everyone to give as much as they can, as often as they can. Send a check, donate on our website. We want every family to be a part of this celebration. And for everyone who contributes during this broadcast, and it has to be during this broadcast, I'm going to make a special offer right now. That's right, there it is, and I'm going to let you see it even better. It is a beautiful, handmade, gorgeous TBA tote bag. It is something to behold, as you can see. So that is there for you if you donate right now. And I'm going to make one other offer if you donate right now. I personally will try my darndest to interest world-acclaimed documentary filmmaker Ken Burns in your life story. So now sit back, have fun, and enjoy great programming with your friends and family. And thank you, and I'll see you soon.
Study, a house of prayer, a house of gathering from everywhere. Our God is just
Right, Steve Hirsch, I'm gonna turn it over to you and right now. Yeah,
There we go.
okay,
And you're giving me rights to share screen.
you should, go ahead.
Okay, and there we are. And here we come. And you know what this reminds me of? Those of you of a certain age probably remember Sunday nights on CBS, The Ed Sullivan Show. So this is the really big show from TBA, and we are going to get right to it. I'm putting on my timer here because Gene is going to beat me up if I go over time. So let's get started. And we'll start with the fabulous Cherry Sisters. Okay. So we started off with a couple of young members of the congregation. We're going to continue with a couple of old members of the congregation right now. The two Altacacas. One, two, three. Whoa, we're getting a lot of feedback. Okay. Here we fixed it. All right. So, let's pick us up where we left off. Jenny, turn it off. Okay. Marc, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but it looks like you've skipped ahead, haven't you?
Yes, I have, because I'm trying to stay within my gene imposed time limits.
Well, why don't we give them the full show?
Well, I've been warned. But anyway, as you saw, one of the sponsors for this evening's performances is our upcoming Songs with Sarah. Sarah Duchovny, who was a bat mitzvahed and confirmed here at TBA and is now an international opera singer, will be returning on the 2nd of April to do a cabaret of all kinds of music, Broadway stuff, Great American Songbook, and some popular opera arias. And here's a little taste, and tickets are available now on the TBA website.
There's a saying old says that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm going to seek a certain lad I've had in mind. Looking everywhere, haven't found him yet. He's the big affair I cannot forget. Only that I ever think of with regret. I'd like to add his initial to my monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? There's a someone yet longing to see. I hope that he turns out to be someone who watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good to one who watch over me. Although he may not be the handsome as they come, as handsome to my heart he carries the key. Won't you tell him please to put on some speed for my lead? Oh, how I need someone who
She is something, and there will be more of that coming up on April 2nd, so get your tickets now. One of the things that we have played during the high holiday music programs, and which has gotten a very good reception, two of our own congregants, Eva Sarinsky and Susan Yaron, and they are grandmother and granddaughter. So here they are singing L'Adore Vador.
centuries ago, a woman looked up
Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's see if we can get past this here. Here we go. You know, we started with a Be Gesund with the Cherry Sisters. Of course, we know that means be well. Well, it's been a tough couple of years, and here is a composition by our own Marc Schultz. It's called The Lockdown Breakdown. Here are the TBA Klezmorim, the Cherry Sisters, Marc, Steve Koffs, me, and our friend Michael Salzberg on the fiddle. Well, there's not a lot of time for this, but I'll kind of start it off and kind of fade out as I reach our limit here. But we'll give you a minute of me.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
So there's our 15 minutes of fame. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you on April 2nd when we'll be presenting Songs with Sarah. Look for the tickets on the TBA website. Back to you, Marc.
Thank you, Steve. And you don't have to write all of these down. We'll be posting these dates, but just be aware it's going to be a great year, lots of events coming up.
Welcome everybody to TBA Feud. My name is Ben Ostroff, your host for today, and we've got a great one in store for you. The Lazar family is taking on the Formental family. And before we get started, Rabbi, why don't you introduce us to your family first?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben. I want to introduce everybody to my lovely assistant, Cindy Paust, also office manager. Woo-hoo! And we have representing the youth today, well, not the only person representing the youth, but on our team representing the youth of our congregation, Tyler Rifkin. Woo-hoo! And someone who manages to make sure that things go well in our congregation, the head of management, Wendy Joseph. And our supreme commander who makes sure that everyone is doing their part and is encouraging and is supportive and inviting of everyone being a part of this incredible congregation. Oh, that's right. Also, Admiral K. Steve Cantris.
And Sharon, why don't you introduce us to your family?
I am so delighted here to have Dan Krosky, our head of the school team, SAC, and Susie Schultz, co-chair of the 50th anniversary celebration. Brett Aslan, a teacher extraordinaire. And Charlie Pavlo, one of our madrachim who makes the school run.
All right, well, let's get our game started. We surveyed 100 people. I spent all afternoon walking around the streets of King of Prussia, the mean streets of King of Prussia, and I asked them to name your favorite Jewish holiday to spend with your family. And Team Formental.
Good
answer. Excellent answer. It is, in fact, our number one answer, Hanukkah. So Formental family, would you like to play or would you like to pass? They would like to play.
Passover.
Passover. And that is our number two answer. Well done. My favorite holiday.
Rosh Hashanah.
You are on a roll. Number three, Rosh Hashanah.
Let's keep that party going on Purim.
Purim is a great answer. Unfortunately, it did not make our board. That is your first strike.
Take another shot later at it.
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. That one's kind of a tough one because you're not eating. But it did make the board. Number five. Great job. And we go back around. All right, we have two answers left. Only one strike. Shabbat. Number four. All right, only one answer remains. Now it gets tough. All right, Dan.
Sukkot.
And for the points, Sukkot, Survey says, yes, it is there. So, the Formental family with the early lead, 100-0. All right, next two contenders, come on up. We surveyed 100 people. Our top 8 answers are on the board, and we asked them, name your favorite food to eat during a Jewish holiday. And the Lazar family. Bagels. That is a good answer, but it did not make the board. So we go over to the Formental family. You don't have to buzz in again, but you do have to guess.
Brisket.
Brisket. Number 3. Would you like to play or would you like to pass?
We'll play.
They would like to play. All right, we have 7 answers to go. You got your work cut out for you. Name your favorite food to eat during Jewish holidays.
Matzo ball soup.
Matzo ball soup, my favorite as well. Number 1 answer.
How about a good kugel?
A good kugel, always a good kugel. I'm a sweet kugel myself, not potato. Number 5, good job.
Latkes.
Latkes. Can't have Hanukkah without latkes. Number 4.
Hamantaschen.
Number 6, Hamantaschen.
Okay, nobody makes this better than my wife at Simmons.
And unfortunately, that did not make it your first strike.
Because they never had no Simmons.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. You'd think that would make the board, but it did not. Strike 2. All right, so Lazar family, start thinking of the steal.
With a good brisket, you need some kasha and bow ties.
Oh, I love kasha and bow ties, but no, strike 3. All right, so Lazar family for the steal. There are 3 answers remaining. I only need 1. Name your favorite food to eat during Jewish holidays.
Lox.
Lox. Good guess, but no, it's not there. So the Formentola family extends their lead, 175 to nothing. Let's see those other answers that we didn't get. Number 2, Shabbat, you have challah. Number 7, also a Hanukkah thing, you have gelt. And number 8, sufganiyot. All right, 2 more players, come on up. Next 2 players. All right, we surveyed 100 people. Our top 6 answers are on the board. We asked them to name your favorite city to visit in Israel. And the Lazar family got in first.
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. Yerushalayim is the number 1 answer. For the first time, would you like to play or would you like to pass? They're going to play. All right, 5 answers to go. Name your favorite city to visit in Israel.
Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv is number 2. Good job.
Haifa.
Haifa, number 3. You are on a roll. Now it gets harder.
I'm going to say Beersheba.
And sorry, that is our first strike. Beersheba did not make the board.
Only for Uriah.
Eilat.
Very good answer, Eilat, number 4. All right, 2 more to go.
Yes, I am.
Zaria.
Zaria is a good answer, but no, it's not there. Strike 2.
I think it's time's up. Jaffa.
Jaffa, no. Strike 3. So, Formentola family, let's see if you can build this lead up, or let's see if the Lazar family will get on the board. Name your favorite city to visit in Israel.
Spot.
Sfat is a great city to visit, but no, it did not make the board. So the Lazar family makes it on the board for the first time. It is 175 to 96. Let's see those other 2 cities that nobody got. Number 5, Netanya. And number 6, Tiberias. All right, so we go to our next question. Our point values are doubled, so this is still anybody's game. And that last answer may have actually been a lead-in to this next question if you know anything about this. All right, we surveyed 100 people. Our top 6 answers are on the board. Again, point values are doubled. We asked them to name a Jewish actor that has appeared on any Star Trek show or movie. And the Formentola family is first.
Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy is the number 1 answer. Would you like to play or would you like to pass?
We're gonna let
They're going to pass.
family
Interesting strategy. Let them get the easy answers, then you got to get the hard one. We'll see if it works out.
William Shatner.
William Shatner, that is number 2. He played James Tiberius Kirk. That was where I was going with the last.
6. George Takeyevitz.
That is not there. No George Takei. Again, we're looking for a Jewish actor that has appeared on any Star Trek show or movie. See, but now we see if the strategy works out because they have to know one of these others. Need an answer.
Tribblestein.
That is going to be strike 2.
The guess was Tribblestein.
Foreman Toll family, think of the steal. 5, 4, 3.
Rabbi Volkanovich.
No. So Foreman Toll, another chance to steal.
All right, I'll admit this is going to be a guess. Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes, that is a Star Trek actor, but it is not there. Your strategy of passing did not work because the Lazar family now takes the lead, 254 to 175. Let's see our other answers. Number 3, Walter Koenig. Number 4, Brent Spiner. Number 5, Anton Yelchin. And number 6, Mr. Fiddler on the Roof himself, Theodore Bickel. All right, so we go to.
I always get Star Trek and Fiddler on the Roof mixed up, but he wasn't even Fiddler on the Roof.
All right, so we go to our final question. This is anybody's game, because especially with point values being tripled. We surveyed 100 people. Our top 7 answers are on the board, and we asked them to name a well-known Jewish movie. Foreman Toll family.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof. Again, one question leading to the next unintentionally, but kind of worked out that way. All right, Foreman Toll family, would you like to play or pass? They would like to play. All right, so we have 6 answers to go. Name a well-known Jewish movie.
Yentl.
Yentl, very good. Number 3.
Eight Crazy Nights.
8 Crazy Nights, a Hanukkah movie, but did not make the board. First strike.
That's one crazy answer.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, number 2.
Come on, Mel Brooks. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, great movie, but no, not there. Strike 2. All right, so Lazar family, start thinking of the steal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt. Good answer, but not there. Strike 3. All right, so this is the way it's going to work. Lazar family, you have the lead. If you get the steal, you'll extend the lead and win the game. If you do not get this correct, the Foreman Toll family has enough points, they will win the game. There are 4 answers. I only need 1. For the steal and the win, what do we have?
10 Commandments.
The 10 Commandments. Good answer. Is it there? Survey says no. So the Foreman Toll family is the winner. 340 to 254. The other answers people didn't get. Number 4, Exodus. Number 5, The Diary of Anne Frank. Number 6, Life is Beautiful. And number 7, Annie Hall. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Congratulations to the Foreman Toll family. Big round of applause.
House of study, a house of prayer, a house of gathering from everywhere.
Thank you for joining me today to discuss the most important ingredient in the kitchen, salt. Salt is the only rock we eat. It's more than just a seasoning, it's an essential flavor in our food. It's one of the 5 basic tastes that we're hardwired to detect, along with bitter, sweet, sour, and umami, or savory. It enhances food by essentially turning up the volume on their salty flavors. Salt can also dial down the taste of bitter foods by suppressing our perception of bitterness. It's said that salting eggplant reduces its bitterness by releasing bitter alkaloids into the water. This isn't the case. The reduction in bitterness is due to the salt's ability for us to change our perception of bitterness on our palate. Salt also balances other tastes, like sweet and candies and desserts, and sour, such as vinaigrettes. Salt breaks down proteins and meats and makes their flavors tastier and more aromatic, which is why we salt meat before cooking. For thousands of years, humans have made salt from the sea. The results were different depending upon the minerals in the area and the elements and the technique of the harvesting. Therefore, each salt was distinctively local, yet exotic at the same time. Over the last century, with manufacturing and transportation improvements, salt became ubiquitous. The price we paid for this cheap availability was standardization. The refining process in mass-produced salts eliminates all regional character. These familiar salts may have different textures, but they're both sodium chloride with anti-caking additives and are devoid of any miroir or sense of the sea. Iodized salt was introduced in 1924 to prevent iodine deficiency conditions such as mental impairment and goiter. There's a current debate over iodized salt due to it being linked to thyroid disorders. In the 1980s, the growth of organic food movement raised the question, what tastes best and how can I improve it? This fundamental question helped revive the regional salt making by popularizing ancient methods to harvest unrefined salts. Pythagoras once said, "Salt is born of the purest of parents, the sun and the sea." Many harvested salts come from the sea, evaporated in open-air pans and left unwashed, so it retains trace minerals and other components that provide unique flavors, aromas, colors, and crystal structure. Some of the best well-known types of refined salt you may have already heard of: fleur de sel, sel gris or gray salt, traditional salts, flake salt, and flavored salts. There are salts in these categories that have broad applications and can replace this anemic kosher salt. There are also special salts from all over the world that are used by chefs, which we call finishing salts. Fleur de sel is solar evaporated sea, lake, or spring salts, composed of fine, irregular, moist, mineral-rich crystals. The salt provides a mild, delicate crunch, ideal for subtle foods and specialty dishes. It's high in magnesium and potassium, and offers many other trace minerals. A good artisan solar salt can capture up to 84 minerals from the sea. This fleur de sel I harvested in Aruba 15 years ago. It's still moist, and look at these amazing crystals. This fleur de sel hails from the Camargue in the south of France, where Van Gogh created many of his masterpieces and where wild horses still run free. The strong sun and the wind coming off from the Pyrenees and the Alps make the Camargue the most productive salt fields in Europe. This fleur de sel has less moisture than other types and is clearer and whiter. Let me show this to you, and you can see the difference between that and the other one from Aruba. This salt is sold in the south of France, this exact container, but it's also available in the Stratford Farmers Market and is a fabulous finishing salt and works with almost everything. This is Nuzuna. It's a fleur de sel from Japan. Unlike the Camargue, Japan's humidity is high with regular rainstorms. So their tradition is to boil the seawater. They have earthenware vessels for Japanese sea salt that date back 8,000 BC. It's amazing. This Peruvian pink salt, which I'm almost out of because I've really enjoyed using it, is an example of salt obtained from a salt spring, 10,000 feet high in the Andes. The salt comes from an ancient ocean that's trapped underground. The spring empties into ponds located in the secret valley of the Incas. These ponds have been harvested for over 2,000 years. After harvesting, they load the salt on the backs of burros and take it all the way down into town. I love that story. Sel gris is also dried by the sun. These crystals are coarse, irregular, and moist, mineral-rich. The paleness of sel gris it varies from maker to maker, but a certain amount of grayness is part of the character, as is gently raked off from clay beds using a samouche, which is a long-handled wooden rake, which are the same ones that Celtic salt makers used 1,500 years ago. Sel gris has a deep mineral crunch with enough moisture to ensure lasting power in the heartiest of and moistest of foods. Use it as a finishing salt on steaks, chops, or roasts, and hearty vegetable dishes. Brittany is famous for its salts fields, and the region is called the Gironde. This salt is from the Gulf of Morbihan. Note the light gray color. The large crystals are called gros sel, and I use them in pasta water and also for seasoning meats. Traditional salt is a catch-all category for solar and fire evaporated salt, harvesting crystals from the bottom of the crystallizing pan. The impact of this style varies from salt to salt, though it is often hard and brittle to the tooth and bright and intense on the palate. Used as a finishing salt for its dramatic color and crystal formation, many traditional salts are also good all-around cooking salts. Examples are trapani from Sicily or sea salt from the Maine coast. This Hawaiian black lava traditional salt is wonderful on moderately moist foods such as sprinkling on burrata or on sweet potatoes. I love using it, for example, on butter, unsalted butter. It's a beautiful pop of flavor and color. Flake salt is a totally different category of crunchable salts. Flake salts are plate-like crystals that are dry, thin, and brittle. The flake salt provides a crispy snap of intense but fleeting flavor. Uses are on fresh vegetables, greens, salads, any dish that you want salt's full experience of texture and pop of flavor. This English molded flake salt was purchased at Wegmans. I use it all the time. I sprinkle this over Bib lettuce for crunchy bursts of saltiness that enhance the mild flavors of lettuces and other vegetables. Then there are flavored or modified salts. These are, and I have a few examples here. They are either flavored through smoking, infusing, blending, or roasting. This is a pink Hawaiian salt that has a little garlic and onion flakes in it. It's smoked as well, so it changes the color. This truffle-rich salt, amazing, is wonderful in pastas and rice dishes, and also good sprinkled on as final on steaks right before service. And this cell, Gris, is also from the Gulf of Morbihan, and this has peppercorns and coriander seeds, and it has this wonderful, you use it, it's also paprika in there, and you use it for slow cooking. It adds a lot of flavor to the dish. This particular one has herbes de Provence blended in, and so the possibilities are endless, and you can find a lot of these kind of salts in various markets. The other major category are salts, rock salts, which are mined. The Himalayan pink salts, which you see everywhere, and I'm sure it's crossed your path, has been mined from the Punjab region in Pakistan since the 1200s. Slabs of this salt are used to cook on. You can bake right on it or use it as a griddle top. So the Talmud tells us 3 things are good in little measure and evil in large: salt, yeast, and hesitation. So I won't hesitate any further. I'll go right into how does salt transform food when we cook. When you rub salt or meat, it dissolves in the food's exterior moisture, creating a protein-rich, concentrated solution that draws water from the meat, from the interior to the surface during cooking, creating a crisp, deeply seasoned crust. This is great for roasting meats, but if you take it further, this is how meat is preserved for jerky or bacala, which is fish that's prepared this way, Smithfield ham, prosciutto. Drying meats resist mold and bacteria, thereby lengthening the storage life. In the same way that salt wicks moisture from the surface, salting the inside of the bird draws moisture towards the bone, keeping the meat moist while roasting. Brining, soaking meat in a salt solution, also draws moisture inside the bird, swelling water holding capacity by about 10%. Since most meat loses about 20% during cooking, brining can cut moisture loss by almost half. For raw, crisp, juicy vegetables like cucumbers or cabbage, tossing them in salts before adding them to the salad, rinse them of moisture, and so it doesn't water down the dressing. When soaking beans before cooking, add 2 teaspoons of salt per quart of water. And it greatly reduces the cooking time by replacing the magnesium in the cells with sodium, making the cells dissolve more easily when heated. Surprisingly, salt also brings out aromas when cooking because it helps release aroma molecules from food into the air. This stimulates our olfactory receptors, helping us to smell things. Salting the water for boiling or blanching vegetables speeds up cooking by hastening the breakdown of vegetable fibers and also minimizes nutrient loss. Salting the water for starchy ingredients such as pasta, rice, and potatoes improves their flavor by allowing the salt to permeate the ingredients more deeply. When dried pasta hits boiling water, starches on the surface of the noodles gelatinize and become sticky. So salt limits the starch gelation, so liberally salting pasta water reduces stickiness as it flavors the pasta. Thickening a sauce with flour or cornstarch reduces its flavor. So the best way to counteract that is to, when the sauce is finishing, to go ahead and use a little bit of salt to balance it, which brings us back to finishing salts. Lightly sprinkling an unrefined salt like fleur de sel, sel gris, or flakes like Malden, because of this, look how beautiful this is, this flakiness of this salt. Great. Again, I use it all the time. Dissolve on food and across your palate over time. Adding them after cooking results in prolonged and fuller flavor impact while using the least amount of salt because the salt crystals hit your palate directly. So by salting at the end of cooking, it's easier to salt to taste and you can avoid oversalting. I recommend the book Salted by Marc, who's a fabulous food writer and chef. It'll take you through a lot of what I've discussed and has many guides on how to use salt and when to use salt. I'll close with my favorite quote from his book. Salt sates the alchemist's desire, transmuting food to fantasy. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Such a pleasure to be here today. Present some magic for you. You may notice right off the bat that I have a little issue here. I have a splint on my hand. I had to have some surgery. That means that today I will not be presenting sleight of hand, but I will be presenting sleight one hand. But that won't affect the performance at all. I've chosen to present some pieces to you that really I could do with one hand tied behind my back. But I'm going to need some assistance to perform each of these pieces. And to begin with, is the Rifkin family available?
We're here.
Great. And I think you're going to get spotlighted by, or at least brought onto the screen. Hey, there we go. There's everybody. So who do we have with us from the Rifkin family today?
Dylan and Maya.
Dylan and Maya. Okay. So let me ask a question. Maya, I'm going to go first with you. Do you know playing cards?
Yes.
Good. Good answer. That's the one I was looking for. So you'll see on the table, I have just a few cards. I have the the ace through 7 of hearts, and the ace through 7 of clubs. Now, I'm going to be asking you a number of different questions, which will help me decide the actions that I think you're going to take. Okay, Maya?
Okay.
Okay, good. So first, would you prefer the red cards or the black cards? Whichever one you name are the ones we're going to use for you.
The red cards.
The red cards. The red cards will be yours, and we're going to put them down for just a second. Now, the black cards, I'm going to put them in an order that I think will be determined by you through the next actions. To do that, I do need to ask a few more questions. Of course, I did ask you red or black, and that does tell me something. Let me ask another question. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Oh, good. Okay, that tells me something. Ooh, vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay. I think I've got it now. Okay. I've placed my black cards in an order that I think will be determined by you in the next actions. So listen carefully. I'm going to start dealing the cards down onto the table one by one. Whenever you tell me to stop, I'll stop. Now, I'll deal the cards down like this and stop when you tell me to stop, but I'm not going to deal them just like this. I'm going to actually turn cards over when you tell me to stop. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to deal down. You say stop whenever you'd like, Maya.
Stop.
There or the next card? I almost pushed one off.
There.
Here, okay? So we're going to turn all those cards over. Let's do that again. Tell me to stop whenever you'd like.
Stop.
Right there. Okay, I'm going to turn these cards over one last time. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Right there. Okay, so this is the order that you put those cards in. I didn't tell you what to do. You decided each time when to stop, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I put my black cards in an order before you even started this process based on the answers to the questions you gave me. Now, it doesn't matter whether the cards are face up or face down. All that matters is if they're in the same order. So over here, I have a 4 in your pile. Right here, I have a 4 in my pile. The next card you have is the 3, and the next card that I have is the 3. You had the 6, I had the 6. You had the 7, I had the 7. You had the 5, I had the 5, followed by the ace and the 2. And it looks like you and I are in perfect harmony. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yay. Great. That's 1 down, 2 to go. You know what? Let's keep them on the screen because Dylan, this time I'm going to use you. And the reason I want to use you particularly is because this is a story of what I'd like to do when I was a kid. Every summer, there was a local church called the Sacred Heart. And the Sacred Heart had this fair every year. And every summer in June, I loved going to the Sacred Heart Fair. And my friends and I would ride our bicycles down Route 3, Westchester Pike, to get to the Sacred Heart Church, where they had the fair in the parking lot. And at this fair, they had rides, they had junk food, and they had games. They had games like the one where you throw a dart and try to hit a balloon. If you hit a balloon, you win a prize. Do you know that one? Yeah.
Yes.
They had another one with the ring toss. If you toss the ring over a little wooden pillar, you won a prize. And they had another one that was my favorite, and that was the duck pond. Have you ever played duck pond?
Yeah, I believe so.
You believe so? Okay. For those of you who don't know what duck pond is this big metal tub filled with water, and inside are rubber duckies. And all you have to do is reach in and pick a rubber ducky, and depending on which duck you chose, that determined the prize you won. Now, I like rubber ducky. I like the duck pond particularly because every time you played, you won a prize. Unfortunately, most of the time when you won a prize, it was a piece of cheap junk, like a Chinese finger trap. You ever see one of these, Dylan? Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm stuck. Hold on. Oh, good thing I remembered how to get out of this. That could be very embarrassing. Now, I play rubber ducky. I play the duck pond a little differently than they played back in my day. I have not just the plain generic rubber ducks. I have special rubber duck. Now, I do have a plain generic rubber duck. This is a rubber duck like you see in bathtubs all over the world and in duck ponds. But I have various other ethnic ducks. I have an Irish duck. That's an Irish duck. Let me dump all the rest out here. I have an Irish duck. I have a Mexican duck. A Mexican duck. I have a kosher duck. That's a kosher duck. I have a Chinese duck. I call him the Peking duck. That's the Peking duck. And this one is obviously a duck from a mixed marriage. Okay. So we've got 6 different rubber duckies. And Dylan, I need you to give me any number from 1 to 6.
3.
3. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. So you didn't choose any of these duckies. The one you chose was the Mexican duck. Unbelievably enough, inside this bag is one more duck and one more duck only. That's the one that I thought you were going to predict. That too is our Mexican duck. So you're the winner of the duck pond. Next time I see you, remind me to give you a Chinese finger trap, okay? And thank you very much for helping out, Dylan. I appreciate it. That was fun. I wish Sacred Heart Fair was still going. I used to love going there. By the way, the best part of Sacred Heart Fair, as I was getting into my teenage years, not outside, but inside the building, downstairs in the basement, they had a casino. Now, apparently, it is legal in the state of Pennsylvania for a religious organization to run a casino night for charity. And they played for real money. It was not fake money. They play. And so that's where I first learned how to play casino games. I managed to get in when I was an adult. I was a big kid, so they let me in. And I'm going to show you something now that relates just to that. I don't know how many of you have been to Las Vegas. How many of you like going to Vegas? I love to go to Las Vegas. I love the lights, the excitement, the shows, the food. I'm not big on gambling, though, oddly enough. It's not that I have anything morally against it. It's just not my thing. But whenever I go, I'll sit down at a table for 10 or 15 minutes and play. And if I win, I have a particular ritual. And the ritual is this. I buy a souvenir deck of cards from the casino gift shop. Now, every casino has a casino gift shop, and in those casinos, they sell these decks of cards. These are actual decks of cards that were used in casino play. And so, you know, it has like the name of the casino on the back, but you'll notice this has clipped corners. The reason for that is this is what they call canceling cards. This means that they cannot use the cards again in tabled play, meaning that people, unscrupulous people with larceny in their hearts, cannot use these to cheat in a game of cards. That's why they clip the corners. Now, I have collected over the years cards from 50 different casinos, and I have them right here. And I'm going to switch to the close-up cam so you can see. These are cards, all different backs, one each from 50 different casinos. Now, in addition to these cards, I've kept 6 cards that were particularly meaningful to me. They were winners for me on the night when I won that money. And we're going to make hopefully some sort of coincidence happen here with the help of 2 people. So I'm going to need to have a couple of people help me. Could I ask Susie Schultz and Rabbi Lazar to join me? Could you bring them up, please, Marc Hager? Okay, we've got Rabbi Lazar. Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, Mark. It's good to see you. And
good to see you. Good to see you. Well, you're not seeing me. You're seeing my hands, but now you see me. And can we bring Susie? Hi, Susie. I see Mark in the background. Oh, you're muted. Can you unmute, please?
Yes.
There you go. Now we can hear you. And I see Mark in the background. Hello, Mark. Enjoy your musical talents earlier. Okay, so we're going to try to create a coincidence here. utilizing this deck of cards and these prediction cards. So what's going to happen, I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to start dealing the cards down into a pile one by one, much like we did before. And you'll tell me when to stop. And I'm going to put one of my lucky cards in there as a marker. Okay? And we'll see if we can come up with some kind of coincidence. Susie, first you. I'm going to deal them down. In fact, I don't have to deal them in ones or twos. I can deal them in clumps if I want. You just say stop whenever you'd like.
Stop.
Right there. Okay, let me just square them up here. Nice and neat. Neatness does count. And we're going to place one of my lucky cards there as a marker. And I'll drop the others on the top. And Rabbi, if you would please, I'm going to do the same thing with you. I'm going to deal them down. Doesn't matter how many cards, but you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
There.
Perfect.
Some more, put some back, whatever you like.
Well, add another card or two.
Another card?
Yes.
Enough?
One more card.
One more card. Ah, that's the Sahara. That's the Sahara. Okay, so we're going to drop the other prediction card on there, the other lucky card, and I'm going to spread these cards out. Let's go to the close-up cam here. And we're going to take the cards immediately adjacent to my lucky cards as we go through. Okay, just the cards immediately adjacent to those. I think should be one more. Up there it is. There's the queen. Okay, so 3 cards dropped in at random locations that you named. I have the 6 of diamonds, the 9 of spades, and the queen of clubs. Now, if we had a coincidence in a deck of cards, the card that goes with the 6 of diamonds would actually be the 6 of hearts. And indeed, this is that 6 of hearts. And if we had the 9 of spades, the match to that, the mate to that would be the 9 of clubs. And finally, the mate of the queen of clubs would be the queen of spades. And that's quite a coincidence.
Awesome.
But that's not all.
Oh, no. There's more.
No, there's more. Not only do they match on the faces, they also match on the backs. That's 2 cards from New York Casino, 2 cards from the Four Queens Casino in downtown Las Vegas, and 2 cards from the Hooters Casino.
Wow.
That's quite a coincidence.
That is.
But that's not all. These cards were mates. And these are the only mates in the entire deck. Because all of the other cards, I took the same card from each of those decks, and those are the lucky 7s. Those are all 7 of clubs from all the other casinos, and that's the most amazing coincidence of all. I'd like to thank you all for inviting me here, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the performance, and I'm going to turn this back over to Marc Yeager. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Hi, I'm Jean Kentish, and it has been my pleasure to put together tonight's variety show to celebrate Temple B'rith Achim's 50th anniversary. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. I hope that you were entertained, had fun, had a laugh, were amazed, and hopefully learned something. I want to thank our individual show hosts, Steve Hirsch for curating the music of our TBA Musicians, Ben Ostroff for hosting our game show, Family Feud from EBE, Peter Lovey from Catering by Design for teaching us all about salt, and Marc DeSouza for amazing us with his magical talents. Thanks also for my tech support, Marc Hager for camera work and Zoom coordination, and Ken Hornstein for coordinating this event with the website. Thanks also to Cindy Paust for all of the emails and texts, and there's a full list of thank yous on the broadcast because there are many people to thank. Also, thank you to our donors and sponsors for this event, whether you were a family or corporate sponsor, or bought raffle tickets to be a chance to be a magician's assistant, or just made a donation, we really do appreciate it. The 50th Anniversary Committee has put together a robust calendar of events for the next year to celebrate our 50th, and I encourage you to check those out and save the date and plan to join us. That full calendar was part of tonight's broadcast, but will be shared with you again and again. So please plan to join us. While this variety show was free to participate and to view, it is part of a larger campaign and fundraising effort to celebrate our 50th anniversary, but also more immediately to help Temple B'rith Achim survive and thrive for another 50 years. So if you had fun tonight, please consider a gift of any size via the link on our website. If you had a lot of fun, give more. But if you just thought it was okay, you could give a little less. I'm just kidding. Give whatever you can. We'd really appreciate it. But you do not need to accept the homemade PBS thank you for your gift tote bag that Steve Kentwitz mentioned in his presentation. No tote bag, just our deep, deep thanks. So thank you again for being with us tonight, and please plan to join us for other 50th anniversary events, and please take good care.
House of study, a house of prayer, a house of gathering from everywhere.
Thank you. It was fabulous. Thank you.
That was fun.
It was great.
I'm gonna shut down the Zoom. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mark. It was
That's nothing.
wonderful. You did a great job. Thank
Thank
you.
you.